Nakeie, Montgomery. I'm from Dallas, Texas. I started playing lacrosse in 3rd grade. I went to Duke. Now I'm just finished my rookie year playing for the PLO Redwoods.
I am Kyle Harrison from Baltimore, Maryland. Started playing lacrosse when I was 3. Went to Johns Hopkins University and then played professionally and for the U.S. national team for 17 years, retiring after last season.
For me growing up, I looked up to Kyle, being an African American in the sport and him being at the top of the sport. For me, it was just something to chase. By seeing Kyle do it, it was something I thought I could do.
This stuff never gets old. So for me, it was the obvious choice is my dad. He played, started a team at Morgan State along with his coach and teammates, a historically black college in Baltimore, the first HBCU to have a team. But in terms of players, there's a cat named Damian Davis, the black defender that played at Princeton, that I remember the day like it was yesterday. I was in high school and watched Mikey Powell run out to the end line to pick up a ball. And this was in the national championship game. And then I seen Damian Davis run out after him to guard him. And Mikey Powell was their best player. And Damian Davis, a black athlete, was Princeton's best player. And I remember being like, there's the guy that I hope to be. So definitely my father and Damian Davis.
Honestly, just being able to play at Duke in general, really legendary place with a incredible story and great family, and I'm grateful to be a part of the village over there. Just being able to put on the Duke jersey is a special thing for me.
So obviously, similar to Nakeie, playing at Hopkins, a Baltimore kid, it's a couple miles from where I grew up, like that's certainly one of them. Getting to put on a Hopkins jersey and then step on Homewood Field for 4 years is up there. Putting on a Team USA jersey, representing my country. And then I'd say actually, honestly, probably my favorite memory, definitely as a pro, is my last time playing in Baltimore. I was on Homewood Field with my wife, my kids, my parents, just like a full circle type deal. So if I had to pick one moment, it would certainly be that.
I told Kyle earlier, it's always cool because you never know who you've impacted or who you've touched or who you still impact today. Talking to a couple of my friends from St. Philip's, which is where I started playing lacrosse. I was like, I'm going to Las Vegas, doing a photo shoot with Kyle Harrison. And they were all just enamored, whoa, what, that's crazy, that's the coolest thing ever. And it was like when we were kids. We would go and get on YouTube on the little dial-up at school and whatever, and we would literally watch Kyle Harrison, Johns Hopkins highlights, the jump shot, the whole deal, the freaking doing this, the whole deal, and just the conversations we would have about that. When I told all my friends what I was doing this weekend, we were literally it was literally taken right back to those days, of watching you on YouTube and everyone just kind of reminiscing on how cool you were and the whole deal. I don't know what I would have said if that didn't happen 2 weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But that's so cool.
So I think I'd probably call out 2 things about Nakeie that I admire the most. One, I met him when he was, he was a kid. What were you, 5, 6 years old? So I met him in Dallas. I had just graduated. He was a kid. It was my first time in Dallas doing a clinic. So I know where he's from. I know where he started. And so I know the amount of energy, the perseverance, the blinders he had to put on to end up where he's gotten to. He had to work as hard as one could possibly work to go from where he was to Duke to a pro. I saw it, and from where he's from, I'd imagine you are one of a few that was able to do what you've done, and he's just getting started, so that's one. And then 2, he is unapologetically himself. From his opinions, to his thought process, to how he carries himself, to his confidence. It's never shaken. I think I'd call out, it was your last year at Duke, or maybe it was your second to last year at Duke, where people were talking, right? Because I think it was maybe you were in a shooting slump and you weren't playing how they wanted you to play, but in your mind, I watched an interview with you, and you were speaking about how the rest of your teammates were getting on. Like, you knew you were on. You knew you were good. You were locked in. When it was going to be time to turn it up, you already had it ready to go. And so while everybody thought that you weren't playing to your potential, you actually had a plan the whole time and was the best midfielder in the country. And it was just on some laid back, I know what I'm doing, I know who I am, I know my game. And I think that's your personality since I've gotten to watch you when you were a little guy, and I can't wait to watch what that looks like after a 10-year pro career. Adversity, for me, it's necessary. Talking specifically about athletics and trying to reach your potential, like, I think adversity, we could all tell stories on setbacks that kind of led us to the next thing. The Monday before the Final Four my senior year, we were practicing at Raven Stadium. I was banged up senior year, and so I didn't practice all that much. And so I remember I was on the stationary bike, just minding my business on the sidelines. And Petra was like, "Harry, we need you." So it's a clearing drill, like a skeleton clear, right? So you need somebody to dodge, shoot it to the goalie, you clear the other way. So I dodge, shoot it at the goalie, and collapse, like on that. And fractured a bone in my lower back, and my back just went. And this is Monday, this is the Final Four. We played Virginia Saturday, played Duke Monday. And I remember going down and feeling like I've worked for 3.5 years to play in the biggest game of my life. I didn't walk that week, stayed in bed, got a shot on Friday, played for the first time Saturday morning at the shoot around, and then just turned it on. And we ended up beating Virginia, and we ended up beating Duke on Monday for a national championship for an undefeated season. So for me, adversity, like, it's necessary as an athlete, and you could speak off the field as well, to get to where you want to get to reach your full potential.
Like, adversity happens to everyone. It's not just athletes. Like, everyone, like, has a hard time. Like, I tell my friends, like, you got, like, win that fight. Adversity is just going to happen. And, like, for me and, like, my journey and where I am, I'm able to frame it as, like, to me, adversity is a stepping stone. Like I lost a national championship my freshman year. And, like, for me, it's like 15 years, I'm gonna be like, Nakeie, I won so many pro chips. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's how I'm able to frame it. And, like, I'm still young, and, like, I know that the sky's the limit. Legacy is in your everyday actions and your everyday thoughts. I just think about my everyday, you know what I'm saying, being a good person, making the world a better place, continue to hopefully inspire other people. But I mean, as far as a legacy, I think that you just gotta live it day by day and just keep being a good person, and you know, it'll stack up, and hopefully we'll see it all come to fruition one day.
I hope my legacy is someone that did it right, someone that was a representative for Black boys and girls all over the world that want to play this sport. That we can play this sport, and we can play it professionally, and we can win a award, and we can make Team USA. You know, I was just a kid following his father. My dad started something, I tried to keep it going, and now, you know, Nak and all these other cats, it's their turn to carry it. So I haven't spent a ton of time thinking about legacy, but if I had to, I'd hope that mine was something like that.